My dear friends, I would like to share with you a personal reflection on an unusual theme: lip service versus heart service. Lip service versus heart service. And I come to this reflection hopefully bringing my own personal experiences and not representing a specific religion or a dogma. I come to you from my heart. And I would say that there is conflict between giving God lip service and heart service. For example, we know that our loving Father, Mother God, the creator of all life, regardless of whether we're Protestant, Catholic, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, Sikh or Baha'in or whatever, as a child of God, we are a co-creator of the divine. And I know you will have heard that in many of my videos, a co-creator of the divine. And all the divine asks of us is to surrender our heart to love, to become a prisoner of love. Again, another use of words that I've repeated in many videos, becoming a prisoner of love. And we know from our own journey, and here I want to talk just briefly about my journey, and I hope it will help you. I thought I was giving God a heart service response down through the years. But I realized what I was doing. I was giving God a lip service, a second-rate response. On the outward surface, I was giving all the right signals. I attended church daily, I received the Eucharist, because I still lived a monastic life even though I wasn't a monk. Having left the monastery in 74, I still carried on with the ritual and the recitation of the Lectio Divina every day. But when I look back, my heart was closed. And it was closed because of fear. Fear, because I retained the words of my novice master and superiors in my head when I actually tendered my resignation, that I could no longer live in a community where there was no love. And the words they gave to me as their blessing was, "He who puts his hand to the plough and turns back is condemned to hell forever." Now I forgive them for that. At the time I didn't. But that eated away at my subconscious mind. And I realize now that I was so immature. I don't condemn my church. I love my church. I really do love my church. And I love my God. But it's just a shame that my church doesn't love me or accept me for who I am on this journey as an independent lay monastic, a Franciscan monastic, who seeks not the dogma, but who just seeks simplicity and coming to God without all of the organized religion, keeping it simple. That's why I love Jesus so much, and Francis. So in my desert experience here, as a lay monastic who lives the contemplative life, I don't give God lip service. Finally, at the age of 63, I pray with all my heart that what I share with you is my truth. I give God a heart response. But so many today, and this isn't a judgment, it's an observation, so many of our brothers and sisters give God a lip service because they're afraid to surrender their heart. They're afraid of stepping out of the norm and being criticized, being bullied. And that's what happened to me. When I shared with my spiritual director, who was a priest, he said, be very wary, because you're walking on thin ice, and that isn't the teachings of the church, so you'll be ostracized. And all I was saying was, I'm finding it difficult to understand why there isn't a balance of the feminine and masculine energy, why it's all masculine. But you know, dear friends, when we surrender our hearts to God, it's a two-way conversation. I believe it's a two-way conversation. God does the talking and we do the listening. Whereas with lip service, it's we do the talking and we insist that God does the listening. And that's the paradox I give you. There can be no room for a lip service to God if we wish to be free, if we wish to exonerate and reclaim the divine mystery within us. We talk about mystery, we talk about agape, we talk about fellowship, we talk about oneness. When it all boils down, we can go through the motions each day. We can look holy. We can say all the novenas, all the rosaries. We can go to all the different churches, mosques, shuls, synagogues, temples. And our friends will think, oh, there's a good man, a man for high office. I just wished I knew then what I know now. But there again, would I have learnt my lesson? I don't think so. I think it takes a person of real courage, real humility, to look at themselves in a mirror and try to see what God sees. But can we see what God sees if we're giving lip service, where the heart is closed? I truly do believe that God wants us to listen and to hear the voice of Spirit affirm us. Because the mind, the head, excuse me, is so full of nonsense, so full of negativity. And it blocks out that light for us to see the beauty of God. That God is human as well as divine. That Jesus, who incarnated as the Son of God, and who went through the same trials and tribulations that you and I go through each day. Okay, they didn't have the information highway. They didn't have the mobile phone. Hey Dad, I'm having a problem. No. But God knew exactly how Jesus felt. And Jesus knew exactly what his Father was saying. Because he took time out to go into the wilderness from his active ministry. And that's where you and I sometimes need to learn from our teacher. We need to say no, and we need to say no to people, and no to drama, and no to conflict, and no to anger, and say yes to love. And it doesn't matter what people think of you. It doesn't matter what the Pope, the Queen, the pastor, the rabbi, the imam thinks of you or me. What matters is, how does God see you and me? How does God see us? So I believe in my heart, and you may be challenged and you may think you're talking a load of nonsense, brother, and that's true, maybe. But for us to enter that personal relationship with a loving God, we need to come with a clean slate. I believe we need to forgive ourselves for our arrogance, for our expectations, and for allowing other people influence us negatively. And we need to come with that clean slate and say, God, I forgive myself on all levels and all ways, and I accept myself as I am. and I now love myself.